We live on a green planet, and if we never take care of it, it's not going to take care of itself. Our values align with the Living Earth Expo. At some point, you have to be conscious within yourself, and the whole idea behind it is self-sustainability and being able to steer Namibians to a greener future, and also just making people more aware of the beauty of greenery.
Good morning. Can you briefly introduce yourself and what inspired Urban Eden?
Morning. So basically, what inspired Urban Eden is more of an effort from my mentor, Elaine Seha. He was starting off with gardens in Komasdal, and then I'm guessing it morphed into more of a business angle where he realized that he could not only provide gardening services but also involve himself in markets and create his own market going forward. Because originally we started in 2020, but I wasn't even part of that yet. I only got hired in like 2021. And the whole idea behind it is self sustainability and being able to steer Namibians to a greener future and let them know that things can't only be bought in a store but can also be grown by hand, making it more organic and just making you feel more at ease with what you have in your garden. And also just making people more aware of the beauty of greenery, as you can see around.
How does Urban Eden reflect conscious living?
I would say we reflect conscious living in a sense of we help people understand not only what they're eating, but also how to utilize what they're eating to their best benefit, ranging from our fruit and vegetables that we have to offer to our gardening services, all the way to the juices that we make. We try to keep it in a sense of it's conscious from preparation all the way to the end user or how you utilize it. So conscious in a sense of you don't only know what you're doing, but you also know how to share that information in a way that doesn't require us forever. Because when we say we promote self-sustainability, it's not a thing of we want you to utilize our methods or our services forever. Usually we come in, we teach people how to not only become more aware of what their diets are, but more aware of what the environment is in the sense of you'd know what the plant is, you'd know what it requires, and you'd know how to sustain it to a point where you could take care of it and then also yourself. So when I say how would you uh, connect to conscious living would be a sense of we're able to not only show people the way, but to a point where they can also create their own way going forward. Because most companies, what they do is they come in and they provide services where you'd need them forever. Our thing is, at some point, you have to be conscious within yourself to be able to, I guess, continue that path if you choose so. 'Cause not everybody wants to live consciously, because it's easier to live in the mime for society. Because I mean, there's no responsibility in that sense. Because living with responsibility requires a lot of like conscious reflection on who you are. So I guess that's how I would add to the community.
Why join the Living Earth Expo?
We joined mainly because one, our values align with the Living Earth Expo in the sense of we're trying to expand this community of conscientious people that understand not only that food isn't made in a store, and also that, how do I say this? We live on a green planet, and if we never take care of it, it's not going to take care of itself. And we do live in a country where it's very conservative and very old school, where like it's more as much as most of the world is in our fourth industrial revolution, where we call it the technology age. Most of Namibia is still in the third industrial revolution, where we're now only discovering new gases and finding ways to refine stuff. So why we join the Living Expo is because we get to connect not only with other people that are on the same wavelength, but also we get to add to the expansion of that movement. And especially ever since like 2020, after lockdown, that movement has become a main point because everybody was forced to think, how will I provide for myself? And most people realize that they don't know how to grow food, they don't know how to eat properly, their mental health is down the drain. And with Living Earth Expo, it wasn't only a thing of it's only in our interest. We also got to learn because as a business, the only way we can grow is that if we learn from others so that we can also refine places where we fall short.
What can people attending the Living Earth Expo learn from Urban Eden in regards to healthier lifestyles?
Ah, okay, that's an in-depth question. It's very easy to get it wrong, because most people will be like, "Yeah, come check me out. You know, I'm doing all this. and if you support me, then you can do all this. But at the end of the day, it's not really about the cash flow for us, because I mean, cash is dead. I would say what people can learn from us to improve their healthy lifestyle would be, for one, to learn what real juice tastes like. And then I would say also, just in a sense, how do I say this? Learn that business doesn't always have to be all too serious or like corporate, like where it has to be suit and tie and you have to act like you're somebody that you're not. Where we can all just meet at a level of person to person and exchange information. Because when you come to us, we're gonna explain to you how to utilize what we sell and how to make it yourself. You're not gonna get it right, but we're gonna explain it. And then also just how to be part of a community that you don't feel like an outsider for trying to look or take care of yourself. Because we do live in a world where, because of these Instagram likes and stuff like that, you force yourself to be somebody that you don't like at the end of the day. And then you come outside and be like, I'm healthy, but you don't even want to be running for 10 kilometers. And we don't all have to be the same kind of healthy, but we can all live very sustainable, healthy lifestyles. So I feel like what people could learn from us is to be more laid back and more concentrated on what actually matters.
According to Urban Eden, how important is organic food for healthy living?
I would say it's very important because it comes all the way from the saying, you are what you eat. And also, not to mention, in a world where 70% of what we eat is either processed or redefined or modified genetically, you would always try your best to steer clear of anything with too many ingredients or too little nutrients, because we're moving to a society where everything is commercialized. Commercialized meaning that we want everything fast, we want everything now. In nature, it doesn't work that way. Like, you can't force a cow to give birth faster than it needs to. But in the world we live in, you can always force a tomato to look bigger or better than it is. But when you break it down to a molecular level where you actually get the nutrients, it's always a thing of either the cells are corrupted or the cells look good on outside but don't do their functions anymore because they don't have the nutrients that's necessary. So I would say organic living is very important for not only mental health but also just your overall well-being, because we don't eat organically just because we like it or it makes us feel nice. We eat it because originally that was the plan for humans, because now we're veering into a society where we have so many health problems that can be solved by just having proper diets.
How does Urban Eden align with the Living Earth Expo, and why are events like the Living Earth Expo important?
I feel like where we align mutually is that both organizations are very focused on self-sustainability. Not only come buy from our stall or come buy from our store, but in a sense of come learn from us, so that eventually one day you can either open up your own business or also just become more conscious within what you do on the day to day. Why the Living Earth Expo is one of the most important things I would say in NAM so far is because the event doesn't only promote businesses, it promotes people, it promotes ideologies that will help all of us move forward. And I think we need more events that are more focused on us moving forward as a society.
What myth about organic farming and living would you like to debunk?
I would say a myth I would really like to touch up on is the fact that organic or sustainable living is expensive. But I would say that it's more of a thing of, if you put your ducks in a row at the beginning, they take care of themselves for a longer period. Examples being our natural greenery up north or over here within the country, or even just the Amazon itself. Organic or sustainable living, where you get to utilize the same ground the same time, because you start considering the future at the beginning already, considering that you have to grow certain things together to take care of each other and to revitalize the soil as you go along. But in commercial farming, that's not a consideration, because you're about getting it done and getting it done. And also just the fact that, how do I say it, it's hard, because it's not hard if you, how do I say this? Mental fortitude is hard, but the payoffs are always going to be outweigh anything else. And people always say that the best things in life come at a price.
With that, what tip would you like to give to someone starting their wellness journey?
I would say baby steps. Tip number one would always be baby steps. we tend to get ahead of ourselves because we have a new exciting goal. So you start doing all these things, and then 2, 3 days later, a week later, maybe a month later, we tend to phase out because it's too much of a shift for our bodies to get used to. So I would say start off slow. Start off by researching how you'd like to change. Then you start off by asking questions, and then you move on to talking to people that you know already in that lifestyle. And then always adjust it to what your preference is. Because just because you have someone who you admire doing this one thing that's really working for them doesn't mean it's going to work the same for you. So if you're trying to change to a more sustainable lifestyle or a more organic lifestyle, always start small, just so that later on it doesn't become overwhelming and then you just shut down completely. So start off with research, or just maybe an apple a day. Maybe just look at an apple, bro, but start somewhere small. Yeah. So from Urban Eden, we thank you guys for making the time to come see us at our humble abode. And we will hopefully, not even hopefully, you better tell a friend and tell a friend that we're going to see you at the Living Earth Expo on April. And best believe we're going to bring it all, from the juices to your favorite cheese guy, and also myself, maybe. We'll see. But keep on living sustainable and keep Gaia green.